Hello, crafty friends. It's Tiffany here. I had to just squeeze in one more Christmas in July project. I've been making these little one sheet wonder mini albums, and I think they are so precious. And I just wanted to show you they're so easy. So also I had made a few more of my little tag journals with my cinch, and they turned out so cute. I thought maybe I'd show you those really quick, just walk through them. They're very simple. So this is what I used from the Hello Christmas. Oh, actually this one's from the Happy Christmas. But yeah, I'm trying to use up some of the cut apart sheets, and these are really fun to make. And I love using my mini cinch I will link my mini cinch below. And I do have a couple of tutorials now for doing little journals with the mini cinch. But I did some gold stitching around the edge, and I added this die. I had it in my stash. It's from Heidi Swap. The die, I guess the die is not in my stash, but yeah, I cut that out. Isn't that cute? And I had these little holly leaf dies. I added some of the little enamel dots and some of my vintage velvet trim. I did kind of sandwich that in between the two pieces of cardstock, so it looks really nice. So I stitched first, and then I added the paper on the back, because the other side of the stitching usually doesn't look very good. I just put a little journaling card there, well, one of the cut aparts and some pages. This is the 4-inch, so I cut the 6x4 index cards to 4 inches. So just got those, and then one of my cute little tags that I showed how to make in that last journal video. Little pocket here. So on this size, I did show how to do the 3x4 size in that video, this one. And so I thought maybe I should tell you, on this one, all I did was so it doesn't have a pocket on the back, I just cut an F4x8 piece of paper and then folded it in half, and then I just took my scissors and cut a little corner out of the top to make that pocket. Glue it down the side. Well, you don't need to glue the side, it's folded. Just glued the bottom and a little bit right there to make that little pocket. So that's all I did there. And then this pocket I turned backwards because I didn't like it. Yeah, anyway, it's backwards, but it doesn't matter. That's very simple, but just really cute. I think these are so darling for like a craft fair or something. And this one, I tied a little bit of some cute trims and ribbons on to the coil. Added a piece of one of those Hobby Lobby snowflakes and added a couple of little flowers. This is the one that I punch out. The little holly leaves are also from Hobby Lobby, and a little bit of pom-pom trim down the side of that. Just added a scrap from one of the other pages here to make a pocket. Very simple. I haven't filled this one up yet, but I just wanted to show you how cute they are. And I think it would be fun also if you wanted to add some tabs here or the little pen holder like I showed in that video. So yeah, very fun. Oh, I did put some of that gold leaf pen around the edges of this one too. I kind of smeared it a little bit because it does take a long time to dry, but I love how those turned out. Okay, so on to the tutorial, the project. These are just so darling, I think. So normally, and I have done something like this before, but normally, and yeah, there's plenty of people that have done a little mini album one sheet wonder, but I thought this would be fun. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it exactly this way before, but rather than using one sheet that's all the same so that all your pages are the same, which I think is a little boring, this time I used some of the cut apart sheets because I thought that way each page is going to be different. So I've done one with the Christmas Carta Bella, of course, my favorite. One with Joyful Christmas. This one is the Joyful Christmas Flora. I added one of those little flowers on there, on that little bouquet. And then this one is the Peaceful Christmas Flora. So yeah, this is super easy, you guys. And I think this turned out so cute because there are usually like sentiments on every one, well, not everyone, but most of them that you might not want there, but all you have to do, I covered the sentiment up here with a little tiny frame. And I also covered this up with a little photo of my children that I took forever ago. That's probably 20 years ago. Is that sweet? It said, I think it said, it's Christmas time in the city beneath this photo. So yeah, I got some little pockets here, put tags in, a little journaling on that one. Is that so darling? So yeah, you just cover up the stuff that you don't want. There was I think it said, you know, Merry Christmas on this little page, and so I just fussy cut the little tree out and stuck it there because I didn't have another photo that I wanted to put there. Oh, little tag there. I made this forever ago too. It's so fun to, like, I don't know if you've ever stamped with bleach, but it's pretty cool. I think I have a video somewhere about doing that several years ago. And I've just tucked the little gold edge tags in here if I can get them out. So just wanted to stick something in there. Added another little frame. I did have these tiny frames in my stash from Heidi Swap, so that's what I used for those tiny frames. But it's easy enough if you have a square punch to just punch it out and then cut, to punch the, you know, a hole out of your paper and then cut around it. So added one of the little ephemera pieces there. So that's about it. Whoopsie. That little red velvet bow that I showed in that last video. So cute. Those are from Hobby Lobby in the sticker section. Not Christmas. Okay, and then this one I have not done anything with. I just put it together. I did add a strip of paper down the spine. This one I didn't put anything on the spine. I think it's cute like that, even though I didn't get it quite folded perfect. Because I forgot to score it before I cut it. But yeah, this is just as is. I haven't covered anything yet, so you'll see most of the pages, except for that one, have sentiments on them, but that's okay. Just put your photos on, you know, where you don't want a sentiment. This is a little bow I made with a die. So let's get right to it on our quick little project. Okay, so yeah, I've got all this fun Christmas stuff on my countertop and it's hard for me to stop, so I'm going to pretty soon be transitioning to some fall stuff. I might do a little summer first though. Would you guys tell me, comment below, would you rather see some fall stuff or some summer stuff right now. All right, all we need to do is score. We're going to score vertically down these lines, so every 3 inches. So 3 inch, 6 inch, and 9 inches. I'm using my works tool, which I love, and my bone folder out of here. Score that. This is very heavyweight paper, the Cartabella, which I love. I'm just using that first line and putting this at 6 inches. And then one more time. Okay, and then just cut on these 2 lines here. And if you're using a different brand of paper or, you know, different collection, of course you probably will be. And you can certainly do this with any paper. It doesn't have to be cut apart sheet. It doesn't have to be Christmas. You can do it with anything, but the concept, you know, just use the same measurements. So we're cutting, so 4 inches. You want to cut really carefully. You want to make sure each one of these is exactly the same size. 4 inches and 8 inches. And then I'm going to make sure they're all the same, because you want all of your book to be the same. Okay, it's not perfect, so I think I'm going to end up trimming some of those a tiny bit. I think it's easiest to just use my scissors and hold. Maybe I'll actually clip that, so hold it in place. Make sure those are lined up at the top. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have to do this with my last. Both, either one of those that I made. Of course I do it on camera, but that's okay. I'll just show you what to do. No worries if it's not, if it doesn't turn out perfect. You can always fix it. There's no mistakes. You can always do something to fix it. So don't worry, just enjoy your crafting. No stress here. Okay, those are pretty close. Got them all cut down. And they are all scored, and then all we need to do is take them and fold up in the center, and then up on the sides like that. So you're making like a letter W, okay? Do that with all 3 of them. Very simple. Okay, now as you can see, I have this on my cover. So you'll want to go ahead and choose one, preferably on the right end, that you want for your cover, and cut that off. So I'm going to cut this one off. Okay, so we'll set that aside for a minute. That will be our cover. I think I need to change my blade on my works tool soon. Okay, now let's see, remember how I did it. Okay, I started with that one. So all we need to do is hook them together. And then the joyful. Okay. So first we're going to make this into a pocket right here. These two center ones will fold up and make that into a pocket. First, I'm going to punch a little notch so you'll be able to see it's the pocket. I punched it here on my example because I didn't want to punch, and you can choose which side you want to punch. I didn't want to punch this. But yeah, just center it the best you can in that card, and I take out about 1/3 of the circle, I would say. Just like that. And if you feel like it's a little off center, you can always go and take a little bit more of a sliver out of like one side. Okay. So there's that. Okay, and then you also are going to, so you're going to glue these two ends together, the right end and the left end here, and that can be another pocket if you want it to be. And I am making those side pockets. So I'm also going to punch, and you can choose here as well. I thought it would be better to punch here because I have more room instead of here. So punch that, just centering the best you can. And you don't need to have pockets here. You can just glue them together and make it a page. Okay, so we'll be gluing those together. And then this will also become a pocket. So each center, if that makes sense, will be a pocket. So again, here, we're going to punch a notch. And I don't want to punch here because I've got my little flowers right there. I don't want to punch the flowers, so I'm going to punch it back here. Okay. So there's that, and then we'll be hooking those two together. And you can decide which side you want your side pocket. And which side did I do? Oh, I did that side. So punch that one. And then we just need to glue them together, making our pockets. That punch just flies so far. Okay, and then you can make another pocket here if you want to. I did not. I decided to just make that be the back cover and not have a pocket in the cover. Also, you can punch like both sides if you want to. Like here, punch through both thicknesses if you want to. But I like to have like the paper showing back there. But if you've got a tag on there, it's not necessarily going to show, you know, when the tags are in there. So, all right. I think I'll move my works tool out of the way for a minute, or for a few minutes, and get this glued together. You do want to pick a ribbon for your tie closure. I don't know if any of you guys will recognize this, but I have probably had this for like 25 years, maybe even more. Let's see. I should have measured this. Let's measure. You'll want about 6 inches to tie with, and then wrap around your book. So that is about 18 inches. You could probably get away with 16. Okay, so we've got our ribbon. Let's go ahead and glue the pockets together first. So this is my first page. And it'll attach here and here. Oh, another thing you could do if you don't want all the sentiments and stuff is just, you know, make one of your sections with the other side of the paper, but you'd have to fold it the other direction if that makes sense. But I don't want to do that. Those are cute little Christmas trees, but you know, to make a more simple background. But I am going to do it like this. So first we need to glue this pocket right here together. So I'm just going to flip that over and open it up. So here's our center, and we'll need to glue along the bottom here and along this side. So we don't need it where it's folded, just along that side. So I'm making like an L. It would be an L on this side. This side would be a backwards L. A nice thin line. And then you'll have plenty of space to tuck things into. Okay. There's our first section. Very easy. Oops. Let that glue dry for just a minute. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. I'm gonna glue my other center pocket. So open that up and make your L. Okay, this is such good glue. I really like this glue. And I usually try to link most of my tools and supplies below and some of my favorites. Let that dry for a minute. And then on this one, I think I'll just go ahead and glue this. This is the back cover. We've only got the 3 pieces left. This is where we cut off the piece for our cover. So that's our back cover, and I'm not gonna make that into a pocket. I'm just gonna glue it all up so it'll be nice and sturdy. Like that. Okay, good. We're almost done. I love easy little projects like this. You'll probably want to just grab a piece of paper and do a practice one. Any piece of paper is fine. All right, so we've got our 3 pieces. We've got 3 pockets so far. Now all we need to do is join them together. So taking the right side here and the left side here. And I'm going to make this a pocket on this side, remember, so we won't be gluing the side that has the notch. We'll be gluing the bottom and the top and the side without the notch. Then you'll have a side pocket. And then I'm going to kind of take them all folded up like that and do my best, oh, whoops, to line. Messed that up. Don't flip it out like I just did. You can cover your spine if it doesn't look perfect, so you want to make sure that the opening parts are perfect. And then I kind of stack them up and go like that. Okay. There we go. Let that dry for a minute, and then this piece here, this is our back cover that we've already glued. Just take that and do the same thing with those 2. All right, and that will be our little book. So gluing on the bottom, that side. Yeah, my spine doesn't look great. Just like that. But yeah, you can cover your spine. So make sure the opening are straight. Then you might want to put, you know, something heavy on top of it for a minute like that. All right, and there's our cute little book. So fun. You can, you know, trim if you've got any edges that don't look quite right, you can trim them off a little bit, of course. Just take your scissors and follow along. I do have a couple of spots where I thought it was kind of cute where the edges weren't lined up perfectly. Where was that? This one. You can kind of see a little bit of the floral on the edge, so I just left it. I thought it was cute. Okay, now at this point you're going to want to add your ribbon. So just center it, make sure both sides are about the same. And we're just going to sandwich that in here and put our little cover on. So just go ahead and put a bunch of glue. Okay, I went all around all the sides already. Put a little in the center for that ribbon. And just take your ribbon and lay it over. Hopefully that is centered pretty well. There we go. I'll add a touch of glue there and put my cover on. And that's about it. Pretty easy, right? I've got glue on my fingers. But yeah, make sure those edges right there are nice and straight and all covered up. So there's my spine. And I don't like to use my bone folder on the spine. I want it to be a little wider because as you fill it up, then this part becomes wider. So I don't like to, you know, smash it down any more than, you know, just a natural fold. Ow! Oh, gosh. Oh, I just stabbed myself. That hurt. Hopefully I'm not bleeding. Although I am working with the right colors today, if I am. All right, and then you can glue that on the back too if you want to, but there's your little closure. And I love to round my corners, of course, because that just makes it look so much cuter, more like finished, professional, right? And I just added a little strip of some gold. This is what I've been using to make those tags. It's just some cards that I had in my stash from American Crafts. And I love this. It's kind of a champagne gold almost. It's not like a super garish yellow gold. And all I did was add a little strip of that down the side to make it cute. Add a little special touch. And I would definitely set something heavy on that for a minute and, you know, a few minutes and let it dry. And I am going to go ahead and corner around all my corners with the 1/4 inch side of my corner chomper. I'll do that off camera. All right, this is my last page, the back cover. Corner chomper. I love my corner chomper. I use it so much. Isn't that so sweet though? Those fun little sentiments. Every page is different and unique. All right, so at this point, oh, I didn't get that one very good. Let's try that one again. Sometimes if you flip it over, it works better coming from the other side. I think these would be adorable as like little Christmas tree ornaments, wouldn't they? Okay. So at this point you could add a little piece of trim, you could put some fabric around the spine or some lace around the spine. Whatever makes you happy. But I'm going to show you how I did the paper spine here. Very, very easy. I've already got this one made. It's 1 1/8 inches wide, and then you want it, this is just a scrap that I had, so I need to cut it down so it's exactly the size here, but I think I would go ahead and trim it a little bit and then trim it perfectly after you get it glued on. So I scored it at 3/8 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch. Okay, that will give you a little spine. And then I would glue it to, oh, I guess I'll put a little glue on that ribbon using my Fabri-Tac glue, which I prefer for the ribbon. You don't need a lot. Just hold it in place. You certainly could add, you know, another, if you have some more paper that goes with that page. Cut another little piece out to cover the back, but I don't mind that. And then I'm just putting glue on the two sides here and here, not in the center, because if you put glue on your spine, it's going to make it harder to turn the pages. So let's see, do I like it that way or that way? About the same, I guess. I really like it with just the gold edge, honestly, but I wanted to show you your options. I think I'll use my art glitter glue. Which I forgot to put my pin in, but isn't that easy? And then, yeah, make yourself some little frames, or, you know, you could just completely cover some of the pages with photos. If you wanted to go that route, that would make it really simple. And add a few tags. You can always cut your own tags, as I've shown you so many times with the tag punch. This guy that I'm using to weigh down the book as the glue dries. But that's all there is to it. You can make a bunch of these and sell them at a craft fair. All right, so that'll take a minute to dry, but now it makes it easy to just go ahead and use your scissors and get that perfectly the right length. And that is it for cute little tiny little books. That would be a cute little brag book, wouldn't it? So I covered this, and I covered this. And I think it would be cute to, if you have an oval punch or an oval cutter, to cut an oval photo. I put the tree here. And another thing you could do is, that glue's not quite dry, but you could put two of them together. Just keep going and make it a thick little book. That would be cute, wouldn't it? Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate you so much. Take care.